Hello, it's me, Nokiiyo. A little bit of a different video. Today we're going to be freaking talking about the Nintendo Switch here. And, talking about it more towards people that have a Switch already and are thinking about upgrading. And then also those of you who click this video and are interested in buying a Switch. Now, I feel like I have a better perspective since I'm not a giant creator and I don't just have, that spare funds laying around at the moment. That's not a jab at any creator or anything like that, but for me, when the Switch launched in 2017, I had just finished high school and starting college, so, I had to really save up, a few checks and things like that to get my Switch. But that's all I mean by that, but let's just get right into it. As someone who bought the Switch since, who has had their Switch since launch, I feel like the entry point into buying a Switch now versus back then is a lot different. Back in 2017, there were barely any games. The two main games that were memorable, in my opinion at least, I feel like were Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. And then other games that were around that time as well, that I think considered AAA titles were 1-2 Switch, and I want to say like Bomberman R or something, both of which are games that weren't very good. Fast forward to now in 2022, where there are thousands of games on the Switch eShop, and then also hundreds of games in physical stores, GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all that stuff. So the entry point, and then also just as far as buying a Switch now versus back then, is a lot better when doing your research. And then also too, back then when the Switch came out, not only was there not really that many games, but there was also not backwards compatibility, which was a little weird because it's like the Wii U had Wii backwards compatibility, the Wii had GameCube, etc. But it is what it is. But yeah, so for Switch owners now, you are able to have an access to a whole bunch of games and research and stuff. And then also there are bundles and stuff too. The price point for the Switch, I believe, is $275 to $350. That that $275 might be off because I think the Switch is a little less, but just, you're gonna spend anywhere from $2 something to $350 max. But you can also get bundles that, go a little higher. I think highest bundles I've seen are like $400 or $500, but those give you like 4 or 5 games. So that's why they're priced like that. But just still, the whole idea of being able to have a much larger access to games and things like that compared from 2017 to now is just a lot better. Now, let's go ahead and talk about our Switch owners. I want to focus on, the Switch Lite folks first. I really don't know why you would own a Switch Lite. Not judging anybody, hey, freaking do you, to each their own. But yeah, if you have a Switch Lite, I have a few reasons. The main reason, which is the overarching reason for, buying a new Switch in general or buying anything in general, is if you have the funds to do it and, can still pay the stuff you have to pay, right? So if you have the extra funds to upgrade your Switch Lite, I would say do it. But also, I would say to upgrade from your Switch Lite if you are tired of the small form factor and also being strictly handheld, because if you are watching this and you're not really familiar with the Switch, then the Switch Lite is strictly a handheld console. You can't dock it and play it on your TV unlike the other ones. So if you're somebody that's kind of tired of being stuck to just strictly handheld, then I would definitely say to go ahead and upgrade your Switch. That way you can have that ability to play docked, and then also, have the ability to play with friends and family. Now, sure, you can connect Joy-Cons to the Switch Lite and everything, but it's a real small form factor, so it's like I don't know how you would really enjoy playing around that screen with 4 other people. But that's besides that. If you're somebody that enjoys playing handheld and don't really care about being docked and being able to play on your TV, then hey, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're somebody that would actually like that ability, then I would say upgrade the Switch. And then in this case, I would honestly say if you're going from Switch Lite to a Switch or a Switch OLED, I'd say make the jump to the OLED, just because you'll get that same handheld experience, but just with a better screen. You know, it's just a better experience overall. You're going from that 5.5 Switch Lite to Switch Lite screen to a 7-inch OLED screen, which, you know, is a 2.2, you know, inch difference, so a little bit bigger. But yeah, you know, just the whole experience of playing handheld on a Switch Lite versus on an OLED is 10 times better. You know, you got the bigger screen, the better colors, better speakers. I'm not sure if the Switch Lite has a kickstand, but if it does, I know it's not as good as the Switch OLED. I mean, even the Switch kickstand was terrible, and now it's where it should be. So that's all I'm gonna say about that as far as, you know, upgrading from the Switch Lite to the OLED. I think just make the jump. Don't go to the regular Switch, just go straight to the OLED, because overall you're getting a better deal as far as hardware from what you were at currently to what you get now. And then also just playing handheld on the OLED is so much better than the Switch, the current Switch, and I have the OLED as well, so I might be a little biased on, you know, the handheld aspect of playing on the OLED, but that's just me. Now, for my Switch owners that have had it since launch, or even have the V2 that have, you know, the regular Switch model, I call it the regular Switch model because I feel like the OLED is not the standard. So for those that have the standard Switch, I honestly would say that making the jump to the OLED, it's a little tougher to give valid reasons for, so I'm just gonna keep this simple. These are kind of the reasons I came up with after owning my OLED Switch for a while, and, you know, trying to come up with this video. And the reasons to upgrade your Switch from the standard Switch or the V2 is, 1, you're an enthusiast. 2, you feel like your Switch might be a little sluggish, or, you know, a little dated, you know, when it comes to loading games, or it might just not feel as snappy as usual, you know. Or 3, you're somebody that really plays handheld a lot with their Switch, like you have a grip and everything for your Switch and all that stuff. The last one is you're somebody that wants to upgrade because you know that new Switch Pro, or whatever it's called, that's coming out whenever, you want to upgrade your Switch so that way when that Switch Pro comes out, you have a console to trade into GameStop that gives you a little bit more of a boost when it comes to trading in, right? Those are my main reasons. Or that also you found a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp that, you know, is too good to pass up. Then it's like, okay, I could understand that. You know, now for me, I upgraded my Switch to the OLED just because I'm an enthusiast and I love having the newest piece of tech and things like that. So that's why I did it. That's all I can say for that, is I did it and I don't regret it. So honestly, if you have a Switch already and you're thinking about going to the OLED, I'd say go ahead and do it, because you're not, you know, you're not missing out on anything. If anything, you're getting a better experience when it comes to playing handheld and stuff like that. So that's my opinion on that. I hope that helps. You know, it's kind of hard to, you know, give real reasons to why you should upgrade your Switch if you already have, you know, a standard one, but that's just my thoughts on it. Now, for those of you that don't have a Switch and are looking to buy one, and, you know, that's your main reason for this video, I'm gonna recommend the Switch Lite. Now, before everybody in the comments or the people that see this are like, dude, who recommends a Switch Lite? The only reason why I would recommend a Switch Lite is if you're buying it for somebody younger, you know, instead of getting them an iPad or something, or if you're a little bit older and you're looking at the Switch to relive your Game Boy / 3DS or Nintendo DS days. Now, yes, I know you can relive them with this Switch as well, but it's just not the same, you know, because this isn't strictly handheld. This allows you to play on TV. So if it's like, if you want something strictly handheld, then I say go with that. And then also if you're secondary and you already have a Xbox Series S or X, PS5 and all that. You know, if you have all these other consoles already, then, you know, getting a handheld, you know, strictly Switch might, you know, be the cheapest option and the best option, you know? But if you're not somebody that fits that category and you're getting the Switch because you are buying your first console or even a secondary, then I would say go ahead and go with the standard Switch or even this OLED one here. And the main reason on deciding which version of the Switch to get versus standard or OLED is really just depending on how much you want to spend. If you want to spend the $300 or even finding it a little less, you know, a few bucks off somewhere, or spending the $350 for the OLED model. Now, yes, I know you can spend that $350 and buy a PlayStation or even a Series S at $299, but you're here watching this video because you're a Nintendo fan, or even if you aren't a Nintendo fan, you're here because you did your research a little bit and you know you want to Switch and you're just trying to see what people think about it. So you know that $350 is gonna go towards a Switch. So you're just trying to decide which one. And so I would say to get the OLED. Now, you know, obviously I feel like the OLED is what we should have got at launch, but you know, it is what it is. Now for that $350, yes, like I mentioned, you could spend that somewhere else, but with Nintendo, you're getting all those games that you can't get anywhere else. You know, Pokemon, Zelda, all the Mario games, you know, all those Nintendo goodies, right? So you kind of know what you want to do. It's just trying to decide which one. So I would say going with the standard Switch or the OLED just depends on if you're willing to spend that extra bit of cash. And even if you do spend that extra bit of cash, you can spend that extra bit of cash for the OLED that is at $350 and keep that 50, 60 bucks or whatever and get the standard Switch, and then spend that 50 or 60 bucks towards a game or even some pre-owned games at GameStop or even pre-owned accessories or just, you know, just some additional stuff. Now, I know that was a lot of information, but I just want to bring it all back full circle and just go over everything real quick again for all of you guys real quick. So for my current Switch owners, if you have a Switch Lite, I'd say to upgrade it if you're tired of that handheld form factor and you want something new. And if you do upgrade, I'd say go to the OLED because, you know, it's what you're gonna get, what you already got handheld, you're gonna get that on a bigger scale. Now, if you already have a Switch, you know, a standard, then I'd say to upgrade. If you're ready for that OLED and want something new, go ahead and do that. And then for my new Switch owners that are looking to get it, you know, like I said before, get the Lite if you're looking for some strictly handheld, and if not, then spend that extra 50 bucks and go for the OLED. Yes, you can save that 50 and get some other stuff, but the OLED is the best Switch that Nintendo has to offer, and then also just the best you can get with Nintendo right now. So I really hope that helps, and what's called, you know, let me know in the comments any other questions you have that I could answer. And then also, you know, share games and stuff that, you know, you guys are enjoying and things like that for people that see this video and all that good stuff. And then also for me, I'm gonna put my Switch code here if you guys want to play any games and stuff like that, or, you know, anything, you know, cool with Switch stuff. You know, it's, you know, we all like Switch and to have fun. So I'm Nokiiyo. I hope this video was a little bit helpful. And yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.